Okay, our next widget in the SEO pack is the Google Tag Manager widget. Now, this is a really powerful tool that allows you to easily insert tags into your website without having to constantly republish your website. And what do I mean by tags? Tags, in this sense, are basically any sort of code that you may need to embed in the header of the site. So let's say you're adding the social sharing tool called MuseThemes.com. This provides you with embed code that you need to put in the head of your site. Well, you can actually use Google Tag Manager's interface to add that code. Once you've installed this on your site, you're just going to go on the Google end of things and update your tag information, and it's going to serve it right into your website. The other aspect of this that's really interesting is you'll remember on the ranking factor study I showed you, this one here, how it said the direct website visits, time on site, pages per session are all very important ranking factors. Well, you have to ask yourself, how does Google actually know some of these stats? And I've always firmly believed that the more Google tools you integrate in your site, the more preference they're going to give you when it comes to search ranking. So let's talk about how Tag Manager works. First of all, we need to drag this widget out onto your master page. This is a master page widget. It needs to be included on all pages of the site. So best to include this on the master. You'll notice if I open up the widget panel, we have just one option, the container ID. Then below that, we have different links for opening up Tag Manager, the documentation, and the tutorial. So I've done that. So let's jump over to the Tag Manager site right here, and I'm going to set up a new account. So I could say my account is for MuseThemes. And now I'm going to set up a container, and the container is going to be called MuseThemes Tags, for example. And where am I going to use this? I'm going to use this on the web and create. Okay, so we've got some service agreement. We click yes. There you go. So now it says install Google Tag Manager, and this is what our widget simplifies. The only thing that we need to enter in the widget is that simple ID, and let me pull that up again. So it says container ID. Well, you can find it actually right on this page. It's just this little snippet here. On my end it says, or it looks like GTM, and then, some characters, but you'll be able to find this on several places around the Tag Manager site. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to drop back into my widget and I will paste it in. And there you go. So I've installed Google Tag Manager. Okay, so now that I've installed Google Tag Manager, let's add a brand new tag. I'll show you how this works. So first, let's click Add a New Tag. It says, what type of tag configuration would you like to add? And if I click on this, it gives us some featured ones. So things like analytics or AdWords. It also gives us the option to do a custom HTML tag. I'm going to do a custom tag for now. Now, what is a custom tag? Well, if I go to a site like addthis.com, for example, this is a tool that allows you to integrate social sharing into your site. I go to my dashboard, I've set up a free account, and it gives me embed code. So add this says, install this snippet of code onto your site. Well, I can just grab this code like that. And rather than having to paste it in the code view of my site and republish my site, I can go back to Tag Manager, paste it in there. Then I have to set triggering controls. I'm going to trigger this on all pages, just like that, and click Save. That's it. Now it wants me to add a name. Let's call this addthis.com and save it. Okay, so now that we've done that, we need to go Submit. And it asks you to have a version name. So I'm just going to say this is version 1.0. And what did I do? I added addthis.com tag. And let's click Publish. So now what it's going to do is it's going to push that tag information out to the Google Tag Manager that you've embedded in your site. And see, the real benefit here is this allows you to control all of these different tags without having to constantly republish your site. Tag Manager is a big, complex service from Google, and if you're struggling to use it or you just want some more background information, just simply Google how to install the specific tag you're looking for. I've looked up install guides for almost every single tag that I've put into the MuseThemes website, and it's really simple to use once you get the hang of it. So that's how Google Tag Manager works. You can see that this isn't necessarily a tool to add data to your site that's going to help with SEO, but what it's going to do is give Google some insight into your site. And if you use Tag Manager to install lots of optimization tools into your site, Google's going to get a really good picture of some of these ranking stats that it's using, and hopefully you're going to see your rankings increase. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our next video on our SEO widget pack.